up in the balcony. I'm waving.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
Jen.
Okay, hello.
That hurt, only because I don't even have $1 to my name, so it was just a little painful. But I get it. So, snaps.
What do you get?
What?
What do you get? I mean,
Nothing. I have nothing to my name.
no. But you say you get it. You know, what is your understanding of why that happened? Why we chose to do it?
Because the reason why it hurt is because I would die. I mean, everyone would love to be rich, I mean. But, like, I don't know who it was, but she said up there, like, money is just like a material. It's like, it's not necessary. So, like, I understand the symbolism to it, but because I have nothing, it hurt.
Sounds like there's some conflicting emotions there, that you see the significance of it, but there's also, you're tied to this system.
We have one over here.
Where's over here?
Hi, I'm right here in the front.
Thank you.
Like at first when you were like holding the flame and everyone was like, oh my God, like I was like, oh, everyone's just like, oh, it's just $1, like, I don't know, like it's a symbolic thing, like I totally understand. And then I heard this guy like behind me say donate it, and I was like, yeah, like I understand the symbolism, but like there's a homeless guy who sits outside CVS every day when we leave this class, and you could have given that to him. And that like, it just like hurt me because like you did that for what? Like I understand.
That is completely true.
Like I totally get the whole educational thing that you just did, but also like after you burnt it, sorry everyone's talking. After you burnt it, I like started to like smell like what it burned, and like I'm gonna say the majority of air pollution is actually scents, like perfumes, laundry detergent. That's the majority of the pollution in the air, and you also just contributed to that. So I'm not like, I just got really fired up about that, and you asked, so.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that is a very valid point, and something that we did cover in part 2 as well, is that there is such inequality in the world. So I do take full responsibility for that.
I'm in the balcony over here. I just thought it was really interesting that when you had the $1 and you were holding the lighter to it, everyone started freaking out when it never belonged to them in the first place. And I understand, like, you could have donated it, but why don't the people that are saying you could have donated it go donate their money?
Okay.
In the corner again.
I have one in the balcony.
Okay,
But-
in the corner.
So, to the person who said, like, I'm the one that yelled donate it, and then over here he yelled the CVS guy, but I wanted to touch on that, as well as the person that just said, why don't they donate their own money? I do donate my own money, but that $1 could have gone a long way for that homeless man. Like, they could get a granola bar, something with protein, just something that they couldn't get on an everyday basis if they don't have any money. Because to everybody in here, or not even everybody, just some people in here, $1 is $1, but for another person, it's a little snack that they wouldn't normally be able to have.
Thank you.
Up here in the balcony, Bella's group.
Okay.
Sorry, that was loud. I think it's funny, we all like varying opinions. Like some people are like do it and other people are like no, because it's like, as we know, some people spend money so carelessly while other people really value every penny. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were like crumpling it up and doing the symbolic thing, because like one time I had to BS a project in 8th grade and I found that online, but like clearly we don't have the money because we burned it, so we can't really do that.
I have one over here, up here.
Okay. Just to kind of tag off the homeless man at CVS, I think that a lot of people have privilege when it comes to keeping their money walking by. So I think my partner next to me and I were both agreeing, like, we easily could have given that $1 to the guy that we always walk by coming to this class. So, yeah.
Jen.
I just thought, like, my opinion on this was kind of different, because there was an episode of The Simpsons where Krusty did that exact same thing in front of a bunch of people. So when you did it, I just thought of The Simpsons and I thought it was funny.
Well, thank you all for sharing your thoughts associated with this.
Excuse me, Autumn, I have one more.
Okay.
Autumn, I also would like to say something back here.
Okay, two more.
Okay, I'm to the left of you in the balcony. So basically, I'm just going to say that kind of hurt watching it because we are all broke college students. So I would gladly pick up $1, penny, nickel, dime, you call it. I'm going to pick it up and just keep on trucking. What I wanted to, I'm back here and to your right in the bottom. I think that this thought experiment brings up an interesting conversation about what we're willing to give up for the sake of education and for the sake of our environment. Because yes, you burned the dollar and it could have gone to a bunch of different things, but I think this thought experiment also has value. It's just not necessarily monetary.
Yeah, and look at all the diverse perspectives that we got from that. All the emotions that came up, all the things you were thinking when it was happening. It's just really important to take that all in. It shows something about yourself, how that was, when that was happening, what were you thinking, what were you feeling, and then what are you thinking that you're going to be doing in the future that's different after seeing that for yourself. So now we're going to watch another video that highlights another theme of the course, the interconnection.
Builds on what we just talked about.
And everything we've talked about. Oh, maybe this one will do the same thing. So exams are supposed to challenge you to go outside your comfort zone. And the question now, going into part 3, is how do we end this separation?
So how does that work, right? How do you connect what just happened with what you just saw, right? The thought experiment, the dollar burning, and then this idea of connecting to other people, the idea of exams as challenging, the idea of taking what we know and figuring out how to move forward. So take all that and talk to your partner about that. then this, yeah, I guess like I could tell, it's like this is exactly what should happen. It's fine. They're hickory nuts. Aren't they great? So cool. So what's coming up for you at this point?
We have one over here in the back.
Okay, great. I see you.
Hi. Watching that video was kind of funny in a sense. At first, I was worried they weren't allowed to blink, like a staring contest. That would make me anxious if I was part of that experiment.
For sure.
But then I saw them blinking, and I was like, oh, okay, it's pretty chill. But when I saw the woman like cry to like a stranger, I would assume a stranger, it's just weird. I don't think I would cry. I think I would just stare at them and like maybe smile. I don't know. I think this, like, it's like eye gazing, which is kind of cool, and I understand that might, like, connection brings peace, like, just being with someone and not talking and just looking at their eyes for a minute or so, I think does tell a lot about a person, which is kind of strange when there's no conversation, but your eyes say a lot about your feelings. I don't know why we cry though, because you cry at many different times. You can be sad, you can be angry, you can be happy, but I don't know like why the tears would come out in those different times. I think it's just an abundance of feelings, whether they're negative or positive.
For me, it's about being seen, really feeling as though somebody has that kind of focus, that kind of like almost see it, the eyes are the window to the soul kind of thing. So I'm speculating because as I watch this, I'm pretty sure that's what would happen for me. When was the last time I really slowed down and let myself be seen in that way? Have that kind of connection. So I challenge you to try it. See what happens. Find somebody and do it. And whether it's a roommate or whether it's somebody you don't know or whether it's your mom or, whatever, whoever that is. But yes.
Hi, Jen. I'm in the middle back.
Okay, great.
Up top.
Oh, up top.
I'm right here.
Okay.
So me and my partner, we were just talking, and we feel like there's a lot of division in this world, whether that's like through education or like social class. And I feel like whenever you just sit face to face and see someone else like human to human, it creates like a very vulnerable state, which like can lead to, the reason as to why people were crying. And I just feel like humans, like especially with social media, we're just not that vulnerable with each other anymore. So I feel like this experiment honestly could have been like pretty life-changing for the people involved. So that's just something we noticed.
Thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. Yeah, try it.
Hi, so as soon as I saw this experiment, I thought it was something really interesting and it would be fun to do. But when I would actually sit down, I would just be really nervous because I would think about I wouldn't be thinking about the other person or how they look or anything like that. I would be thinking more about what are they thinking about me? Are they judging me right now? So I feel like that would be nervous. But it took me back to the pack question of last week where it's all about courage, and someone in my group wrote about how even though you're scared to do it, you you try and do it anyways, which is really what courage is about.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing. Just try it.
Hi, Jen. I'm on the balcony.
Okay, great.
In the corner.
I see you. Gotcha.
I kind of was just reflecting, and I thought it was kind of difficult to just sit in silence and stare, because it's the people doing that, like, you can tell deep down they're kind of yearning for that connection, which is why they chose to do it in the first place. And I think the reason why they cried is just because it's like, it's just sad to think that, like, you have to force yourself to sit and have a connection with someone, where, like, it should be something that we're just doing naturally day to day, but, like, to really be seen, you have to sit down and force yourself to see that person.
To be part of an experiment, to do that. That's interesting. Thank you for your perspective.
We have another one in the back.
Okay.
Hi. I thought that the video was actually really emotional. Like, for me personally, I was back here holding back tears because I think it's just so beautiful to watch humans interact and have a connection and have this subconscious conversation in which it leads them to cry. Like, they're comforting each other without having to say anything, and I think that's really special. So I think that's why they cry.
I think so. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your perspective.
Sorry, my voice cracked. So I was thinking about this, and I think eye contact is like kind of very vulnerable. And I quite honestly, if I sit down with my brother and we're like catching up, because he has a job in New York and we're trying to catch up, like he'll be on his phone, and I'm kind of like, can we like get off our phones and not be an iPad kid? Same with my roommate. She'll have to play a video game, watch a TV show, and everything. And I'm like, dude, we're having a conversation about how you don't clean. Can you listen? But I think it's very vulnerable. I know, like, I can sometimes keep eye contact, but I don't know, just being a woman, it's kind of difficult to think that I'd actually want to do this and sit down, because the whole time I'd be thinking, like, is this just a distraction for someone to steal my stuff?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, thanks for sharing that thought.
Sorry, I'm up here on the balcony, in the front balcony.
Got it.
I just have one thought. I thought it was interesting, like the connection that these people were able to make with strangers, because we were saying in my group that sometimes it's easier to be vulnerable with a stranger than it is to be with a friend, because they know more about you and they're going to want to, like, I don't know, it's just like a different perspective. And I think, like, you know, you ever see like the hug a mom thing on the side by the library? It's like, I know a couple people that have went up to them and like really confided in them, because like they don't have an opinion, you know, or and if they do, it's just like all they're trying to do is to help you because they don't know anything else about you. And I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Jen, I have one.
So cool.
In the front.
All the
again.
different perspectives. Great. Hi.
So I just continued thinking about separation for this. I saw a video earlier this week of someone who was trying to lengthen their attention span. They shared something from a book. It was like, it's not your fault that you don't have an attention span. And I think it kind of carries over to like personal connection as well. I think it's just something that's been stolen from us. Just with how society functions.
Yep.
And I was writing an essay for English 15, which is the worst class ever. I think everyone here can agree with that, on the benefits of outdoor education. And my first sentence was, humans have an innate connection with nature. And the PhD mentor for my professor said, that's not true. He was like, innate is not the right word to use because people don't. And I said, well, you're wrong. That's the whole point of the essay, is that some people don't feel like they have one, but it's hardwired into us, and that's something that's been stolen from us as well.
So interesting. Yeah, so much to dig into. I have been really blessed by your comments and your thoughts, and I hope that there has been something here for you to grab onto, to take out into the world with you, that carrying those connections, that sense of exam where you're, you know, pushing yourself in a different kind of way. I hope that you can hold on to that and take that with you. I hope that you have a beautiful day.